Rahim. Rector Bahria University Admiral Asif Khalik, Director General Admiral Athar Mukhtar, Dean and Principal General Shehla Bakai, Commodore Fuad Imami, the three keynote speakers, Professor Bhutta, Mr. Khalid Mahmood and Professor Kareem, then the Director Campus officers, faculty members, students and ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It is truly an honor to be here and a privilege to be the chief guest at this important theme conference, Climate Change and Health, Emerging Challenges and Solutions. This has now become a pressing problem, especially in our country, but also internationally. And 2 years ago, we saw both Sindh and Balochistan provinces devastated by its effects. We saw huge flooding, whole communities were destroyed, had to be moved out, and still there are people who are living out in the open without any shelter. It is indeed an opportune time to bring all experts, researchers, policy makers, and thought leaders on a single table to discuss this. And for doing this, we must recognize the efforts of the Dean and her team of organizers. Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard three eminent speakers, and they have given us the gist of what's going on and what is going to happen. We have heard from Mr. Khalid Mahmood also of things that we are not doing that should be done and should be done rapidly rather than slowly. We must remember that it is climate change is not just an environmental issue, it is a global health emergency. It is impacting on our health physically, on our health mentally. And we are seeing deterioration and its impact, especially on the poorer segments of our society, where people are getting affected. It is affecting our water resources, it's affecting our air quality, food security, the food supply chain is impacted, and in the flooding season we saw a fall in production, especially of food and also of agricultural produce, which is the backbone of our economy. The cotton crop in Punjab was impacted and there was a devastating impact that production came down by 50%, and similarly the wheat crop in Punjab, again there was a problem, and all of this again impacts not only on the supply chain but also on the economy of the country. This conference is a timely platform to discuss how we can harness scientific research, policy frameworks, and community engagement to mitigate these challenges. And the intersection of our healthcare and weather changes is an important aspect and demands a multidisciplinary approach. It's not only one person who can do something, it has to be all segments of society who have to get together to bring about the change. We need to go out in the public and speak about it. We can't just sit in our departments, in our academic departments or in our offices and talk about it, or just talk about it in our educational institutions. It is, we have to go out into the society and start talking about it and start talking about its impact on not only society but also on economy, also on what is going to happen. Khalid Mahmood Sahab mentioned the land erosion that is taking place in Ketiband, the Mirpur Sakro Talka of Thatta district, And people who had seen it before, like I had seen it previously as well, and then I saw it just being eroded. I haven't been there recently, but some years ago I saw that a lot of the land had just disappeared and people were just coming in rather than progressing. Ladies and gentlemen, we also need to think about education and awareness, how are we going to empower individuals, how are we going to empower the communities with knowledge so that they realize that what is happening. We continue to use for our electricity generation a lot of oil, a lot of coal, which is not a good thing for the environment. Solar panels have now come in. Wind power is present along from Karachi to Jungshai. You have an excellent wind corridor, and that is also now being utilized, hasn't been utilized in the past. But even now, I think that we are unable to manufacture the wings that are required for these windmills which generate electricity, and that has been a major problem. While we can manufacture the engines, the fins that are required, we are unable to manufacture those. So what is required is action, and action not only from the government, action from the people. And until and unless that happens, we shouldn't expect any change. And that goes for all aspects of life, not just for climate change and overcoming the effects of climate change. So again, at the end, I would like to thank General Sheila Bakai. She was very kind to invite me here today, and all of you for attending this session. And I hope you have an excellent meeting and come up with new ideas and new innovations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I request the Chief Guest to please kindly remain on stage.